Welcome to Seedling Squad, your go-to place for all things plant and gardening. Whether you're a beginner just starting out or a seasoned green thumb, we've got tips, tricks, and tutorials for everyone. Hi, I'm Nicole, and I'm here to help you grow your gardening skills and turn your space into a green paradise. From seed to harvest, let's embark on this gardening journey together. In today's video, we will be featuring the Beginner's Guide to Late Winter Garden Prep. Just so you know, there are direct links to all the related products in the description below. If you want a wide range of gardening facts, tips, and tricks, be sure to visit our website at seedlingsquad.com. So let's get started. If you want a low-maintenance garden this summer, the work starts in late winter. Most beginners wait until spring to think about gardening. By then, weeds are already growing, plants are waking up fast, and everything feels rushed. Late winter is different. The garden is quiet. Plants are dormant. You can see the structure clearly. And that makes this the perfect time to reset everything before the growing season begins. Today, I'm going to walk you through 3 simple steps that will set your garden up for success: pruning and cleanup, feeding the soil, and mulching properly. These are not complicated techniques. They're foundational habits that make a massive difference once the heat of summer arrives. Let's start with step 1, prune and clean up. Late winter is the ideal time to prune many plants because they are still dormant. That means they are not actively pushing out new leaves or flowers. When you prune during dormancy, you reduce stress on the plant and encourage strong, healthy new growth in spring. The key word here is many. Not all plants need pruning. Here's what you should focus on: perennials with dead stems from last year, ornamental grasses that have turned brown, shrubs that bloom on new wood, like panicle hydrangeas, damaged or broken branches. Cut back dead or brown growth to clean up the plant and make room for new shoots. Removing old stems improves airflow and reduces the chance of fungal disease once humidity rises in spring. If you're working with perennials like hostas, ferns, or other herbaceous plants that died back over winter, trim them down close to the ground. You're not harming the plant. You're simply removing last year's growth so the new foliage can emerge cleanly. Now, a very important beginner tip. Not all shrubs should be pruned in late winter. Shrubs that bloom on old wood, such as lilacs or certain hydrangeas, formed their flower buds the previous season. If you prune them now, you may cut off this year's flowers. Always look up your specific plant before cutting if you're unsure. In addition to pruning, remove debris. Clear out fallen leaves packed around stems, old annuals that didn't survive winter, sticks, and compacted organic matter. This cleanup improves airflow, reduces pests overwintering in debris, and makes your garden look organized before spring growth begins. Once pruning and cleanup are complete, your garden bed should look simple and open. That's exactly what you want. Now it's ready for step 2. Step 2, feed the soil. This is the step most gardeners skip. They plant, water, and hope for the best. But soil health determines plant health. If the soil lacks nutrients, plants struggle no matter how much you water. Think about what your garden has been doing all winter. Above ground, it looks inactive. But below the surface, roots are still alive. Once temperatures rise, plants will rapidly push out new leaves, stems, and flowers. That growth requires energy. And energy comes from nutrients. There are 2 simple ways to prepare your soil in late winter: compost and slow-release fertilizer. Add compost. Compost improves soil structure and adds organic matter. If you have clay soil, compost helps loosen it and improve drainage. If you have sandy soil, compost helps retain moisture and nutrients. If you have compacted soil, compost improves aeration. Spread a thin layer, about 1 inch, around your plants. You don't need to bury them. Just top dress the surface around shrubs, perennials, and roses. Compost feeds the soil ecosystem. It supports beneficial microbes and improves root health. Over time, consistent composting creates richer, darker, more productive soil. You don't need to overthink brands. Use a quality compost available locally, or use your own homemade compost if you have it. Use slow-release fertilizer. After compost, apply a slow-release fertilizer. For beginners, slow-release fertilizer is ideal because it feeds plants gradually. It reduces the risk of burning roots and avoids the surge of weak, overly fast growth that can happen with strong synthetic fertilizers. Follow the label instructions carefully. More fertilizer does not mean better results. Over-fertilizing can harm plants. If rain is forecast within a day or two, apply fertilizer just before the rain. Natural rainfall helps move nutrients into the soil without extra watering. Feeding your plants in late winter ensures that when spring arrives, they have everything they need to grow strong stems, healthy foliage, and abundant flowers. Now we move to the most important step. Step 3. Mulch properly. If you want fewer weeds, more moisture retention, and better temperature control, mulch is your solution. Apply 2 to 3 inches of mulch across your garden beds. Here's why mulch works so well. First, it blocks sunlight from reaching weed seeds. Most weeds need light to germinate. When you create a thick barrier, far fewer weeds sprout. Second, mulch regulates soil temperature. In summer, it keeps roots cooler. In winter, it insulates them from sudden temperature swings. Third, mulch retains moisture. It slows evaporation, which means less watering for you during hot months. Fourth, mulch reduces soil erosion from heavy rain. Will mulch eliminate weeds completely? No, but it drastically reduces them. And when weeds do appear, they are easier to pull because their roots stay shallow. Now, let's address a common beginner concern. Is it okay to mulch over dormant perennials? Yes, as long as you are applying a few inches, not burying the plant under a foot of material, it's safe. Dormant perennials will push through the mulch when spring arrives. Avoid piling mulch directly against the stems of shrubs or trees. Keep a small gap around the base to prevent rot and moisture buildup. Choose a mulch that works well in your climate. Pine bark, hardwood mulch, or other natural options are common choices. Focus on consistency and thickness rather than perfection. Mulching in late winter is easier because plants have not yet filled in the space. You can spread mulch evenly without working around large leaves and stems. Why late winter matters? Late winter gives you visibility and control. You can clearly see the structure of shrubs, where perennials are planted, bare spots in the soil, areas that need improvement. If you wait until spring, growth hides those problem areas. By summer, you're reacting instead of preparing. Doing this reset now means fewer weeds in June, less watering in July, and less stress in August. It also makes gardening more enjoyable. Instead of constantly fixing issues, you maintain and observe. Recap. Here's your late winter garden reset checklist. Step 1. Prune dead or damaged growth and clean up debris. Step 2. Add compost and apply a slow-release fertilizer. Step 3. Spread 2 to 3 inches of mulch across your beds. These 3 steps don't require advanced knowledge. They don't require expensive tools. They require timing and consistency. Do this before spring growth begins, and your garden will reward you with stronger plants, fewer weeds, and easier maintenance through summer. Thanks for joining us on this countdown of the beginner's guide to late winter garden prep. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more gardening tips and tricks. Happy gardening, Seedling Squad!